Hey, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to Life Mastery Decoded, where I help you decode the struggles in your life in the areas of health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality with mind mastery, emotional management, and meditation. Welcome to today's podcast. Ladies, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to today's episode where I hope I am finding you beginning your day and living your life pain-free. If you're not pain-free in your life or in your day or even right now in this morning, then it is my intention that in today's episode, I give you one nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. You know, one doesn't begin studying or thinking or learning about anything until one is in the middle of something or at the end of dealing with something. So as I have been dealing with pain in my body for several years now with my back, I can get some relief with meditation. And I've had a couple of surgeries that I have expressed to you or have talked about in other episodes where I have been doing something, my thinking has created some negative emotion in my body, which then turns into some chronic something. And that chronic something sometimes has to have surgery to remove it before it gets worse. But I always do the energy work beforehand. So today I want to talk about a little twist on pain. As you probably have heard, I've been dealing with a little bit of back pain. It kind of comes on suddenly, lasts for a couple of weeks and then goes away. That it tends to put me in kind of a spiraling downward momentum where I don't feel very good. I'm a very active person. I have been my entire life. I've been very healthy. And since about the beginning of January, I've been dealing with this back pain. Well, January of 2017, I forgot the important part. Since January 2017, where actually I had that massive surgery where I had this other negative emotion that was creating this pain in my body. So when I do mala beads and meditation, I tend to find some peace and some relief from this chronic pain. I have gone to doctors, I have done chiropractic work, I have tried different types of medication just to find some relief so I can keep my mood and my energy elevated. Because when my mood and my energy go down, then it kind of spills out over the rest of the family, of course. And also my life just tends to become very bleak. And because of my outlook on life and the goal and the aspirations that I have for my life specifically and my family and my business, obviously I don't want that to happen. So if you are dealing with something where there's some pain in your body that is just sometimes debilitating or just chronic or just there or just on the back of your mind that is creating a little bit or a lot of fear that you just can't live your life like you want to, or you're just never going to be able to feel better, you're never going to be able to move along in your life like you want to, then please know and understand that I understand what you're going through. And sometimes that's all it takes, because if I know that somebody out there truly understands, not just says, but has a similar story, a similar downward spiral, a similar emotional response to what I'm going through, then I feel like that gives me a little bit of hope. Now together, we can figure this out. Hopefully, they have something that might help. Now, I want to share something with you that I'm recently doing some research, which is what I do when something is going on in my life and I just can't quite seem to get it together, that I want to find an answer for, okay? And I want to share with you what pain really is. It's really interesting, for one, the science behind pain, and I'm just now at the cusp of it, but I want to at least get it out there because some of the some of the ways I can help you are things I already know, but what I didn't know is where pain came from. Now, first of all, let me tell you this, and this is really, really interesting. Pain doesn't come from the tissue that's damaged. It doesn't come from the tissue that's damaged. And I'm like, okay, wait a second, but if I break my finger, that's where I feel the pain. And yes, that's true, but it's not the tissue, the receptors of the tissue that stimulate the pain. Isn't that interesting? It is actually the nervous system and the brain's communication with what has been put in danger or what is damaged that is causing the pain. So it looks like it's your finger, but it's actually your nervous system. So if you were in pain, whatever, emotional, physical pain as a child, and then you learn how to deal with pain, and then let's say as you get older as an adult, you then have maybe chronic pain or further injuries, or maybe you're even dealing with some surgeries or something, that all of these things can lead to what's called a practiced pain response in the body through the nervous system. It's practiced. And as it becomes practice, like if I take the word practice and I say, okay, if you want to learn how to play the piano, what's the word that's going to come right after that? What do you need to do? Well, of course, you need to practice. When you practice, you what? You become better, okay? When the nervous system is at the point of practicing this pain response, it actually becomes easier for you to feel pain, or easier for you to feel pain for long periods of time. So with this practiced nervous system that is used to or skilled at feeling pain, it then becomes chronic. And with chronic pain, now our emotional gets in the way and we start to feel worse and worse and worse. And then this whole downward spiral comes into play. And what feeds the idea of that chronic pain? What feeds our nervous system of this chronic pain? And I bet you can come up with it. It's fear. Fear of never being able to get off the couch or out of the bed. Fear of a headache never going away. Fear of never living your life to the fullest or even a fraction of the fullest, because you just can't feel good. You just can't come to the realization of feeling better. So that was actually the thing that I learned today. And here I am doing a podcast on it. And it's not so much that part that I wanted you to know, but it's some of the solutions to that will help you with chronic pain. Now, I'm at the very beginning part of my journey with this. However, some of the things that I can teach you, I'm not at the beginning, like teaching you about breathing, teaching you about pain, teaching you about changing the emotional response that you have. So I'm kind of excited that when pain comes around, I'm going to look at that body part or think about that body part that's hurting, because I can't look at my back, right? Think about that body part that's hurting, and I'm going to say, that is the nervous system responding to pain. It is over practiced because it's oversensitized and overly skilled at feeling pain at the slightest amount of movement. The things that I do that tweak my back, that make it feel all crazy, is something that shouldn't do it. It's not like I'm lifting this really heavy thing off the floor. It's something very minor that my back then really seizes up. So I know I keep saying so, I'm sorry, this is a new topic for me. But anyway, so let's talk about some of the things that we can do. One of the things we can do if we're feeling chronic pain is to calm the nervous system. And ways to calm the nervous system: meditation, breathing, visualization, mindful moments, becoming present. And as I go along on this journey to help myself to overcome this back pain and to help Amy overcome, because she's dealing with some foot pain, is I will continue to record different podcasts and share more of my journey with you and more of these tactics with you and what's working and what I'm visualizing and how I'm going along. And I am going to reach out and get some support in this area. But let's talk about meditation. And specifically talking about just calming the nervous system and that being the focus. So if you take a pained response in the body, and then a lot of people, what they do is they try to ignore it, distract from it, medicate from it even. But sometimes it's important to spend that visual and your visual awareness at that pain center where you're feeling the pain, and be willing to release the pain. I still feel like through meditation, we can release this energy. I believe wholeheartedly to the truth of my being is that energy is always moving through us. It makes sense. It feels right. I just don't always know what the proper techniques might be. But I do feel like when we are feeling pain, that there is something that's stuck. And by being willing, by being willing to release the pain, to let go of the pain, then I am helping instead of resisting. Because in resisting, we're not going to get anything. We're not going to have results. If we're resisting losing weight, no matter how many times you go to the gym, it's never going to happen. Or it's going to be, the results are going to be very, very slow. So in meditation, I'm going to suggest that as you are spending some 5 or 10 minutes in your meditative practices, in that really sleepy state, that theta brainwave that we've talked about in previous episodes, is to focus your attention on the pain. But the difference is not focusing on the pain and creating a negative response, but focusing on the pain to create a positive response is sending love and healing and care towards the pain. So spending time there, and think of something, a pet or a child or your loved ones that you love that are in pain, and you just wrap your arms around them and you just send them love and you send them healing and you wish them well. Do the same thing for yourself and your pain. When you are feeling a headache, go in there in your mind and in your visual, is bring your awareness to it and love the headache. That's how we're going to ease the pain, all while you are saying, I am willing to release this pain. I am willing to allow health to come into my life. I'm willing to allow my head to feel amazing, or I'm willing to allow my body to feel energized and invigorated. Then, as we start to visualize, this is where we can using the skill of visualization is really, really going to help to create the emotional effect of hope and longevity and feeling good and energized and happiness regarding your body. So feel how it would feel to move through the world without your pain. How would it feel to run across the yard? How would it feel to read a book without eye strain or a headache? How would it feel to go for a walk or walk your dog? How would it feel to be in a better mood and love your kids or your spouse? And so visualize whatever the thing is that you're wishing to do when this pain is gone, and create as many vibrant scenes as you can that are going to lead to the emotional response of this feels good and this feels present and this feels amazing. That's where we're going to start healing the body, okay? When you can't do something like that, the next is just about breathing. I move right to a pretty high complaining state, and I'm even aware of it, but my emotions sometimes get the best of me. As I have explained before, I am human. But it's just stopping for a moment, becoming very mindful of your moment, becoming very present. You can even feel into the pain and say, I release you, and just breathe. Slow your breathing down, because as we become more emotional in that state of pain, our breath becomes shallow and rapid. And as we do that, what state of mind do we move towards? Fear or calm and peace? We move more towards fear. We become more reactive, more emotional. When you move towards fear, the brain goes, we must be in danger. And as we move into danger, we get ready for that fight or flight, and the muscles tighten up and the pain gets worse. So we need to calm ourselves down by breathing and becoming very, very fully present. I'm going to teach you a breathing technique. This was one that I learned on how to slow your breathing down and really become present. It's called pranayama. And what you do is take your hand, stick your thumb out and your pinky, and you are folding your middle 3 fingers down. In sign language, this makes the Y hand. Now, as your palm is facing you, cover your left, so I'm using my left hand. If you're using your right hand, your thumb is going to cover your right nostril. If you're using your left hand, your left thumb is covering your left nostril, and it closes it. So then you push your thumb against your nostril and you breathe in slowly in your right nostril. And then you take, when you're breathed in, your lungs are filled. Now you rotate and you use your pinky to close the other nostril and then breathe out through the other side. You are creating what's called an alternate nostril breathing. So you're breathing in your right nostril and out your left nostril. In the right, out the left. And then you can rotate. Breathe in the left and out the right. It really calms the nervous system and it really slows you down, getting you out of that fear-like state that can ramp up the pain. It is one of my favorite techniques to do. And like I said before, I can get some major relief with that, with this type of breathing and becoming very present. Another thing you can do is just having mindful moments where you're just really bringing what I call all of your faculties, all of your senses to one thing at a time. So take something that you really find joy in, something that you can do in this moment, and bring all of your awareness to that thing. So let's say I have my guitar I just got for Christmas sitting next to me, and as I walk by, like it's on a stand and it's open and it's on a stand and I'll walk by and I'll just strum it and it just harmonizes. I just love it and it just sounds so great, and I'm terrible at it, but I really, really love it and I love learning. And so I can take all of my senses and bring them to the guitar, looking at the structure of the guitar and the strings and the wood and the grain of the wood. And then I can strum it and I can listen to the chords and I can listen to the strings vibration and I can get really close to the wood and I can smell the richness of the stain and the wood. And then I can think about the hands that put this guitar together and the materials that put it together. And then I can think about the tree that basically gave its life for this guitar so I can find joy. And I just can become very present and very, very mindful of this very moment. It's those things that will take you out of that pain element. So with these things combined, meditation, being willing to work with the energy, releasing the pain, being willing to allow health and the idea of feeling good completely come into your life, then visualizing a scene that just takes you out of that pain, of what would you do if you didn't have the pain? What would your life be like? And now create several scenes that have a lot of color and words and pictures and people and movement and action and sound and smells that really ramp up your emotional knowing that the body can heal, that you can get to that point right there. Then breathing. Using this pranayama breathing with your nostrils is going in the right side, out the left side, and slowing your breathing down. You're going to catch this before you move into that fear state. Then taking a moment to become mindful of the one thing that's around you, taking all of your attention and putting all of your senses and your faculties on that thing, thinking about every single aspect of that thing. Every single aspect. There is a paperclip in front of me. Think of the materials, the machinery, the people, the idea, the energy that went into making this paperclip. Is a paperclip. It's a 2-cent paperclip. But when you take your energy and you become present moment, you now can allow the body to heal, something that you're not going to be able to do if you're in that fear response. So I hope that this finds you well. I want you to know that in the month of April and May, we're going to be building and talking about our meditation practice. We are going to be talking about meditation and visualization in our Lady Rising Sister Circle. If this is something you want to be a part of, go to Facebook, go to Lady Rising, find our group, and in the membership questions, I want you to let me know that you came in through our podcast. And then join our sister circle. You go to the featured section, you'll see one of the posts that says, what the heck is a sister circle? You're going to go there and you're going to see the link to the calendar of events, the calendar of sister circles that we have. April and May are all going to be dedicated to building our meditation practice, which is going to be including releasing energy and being willing to let go. And then in May, we're going to be talking more about visualization because May is meditation month. So if this is something that is interesting to you, if this is a place where you would like some support in dealing with your pain, then please let me invite you to our Lady Rising group. It is a sister circle where we are supporting each other, other women that are on a similar journey, dealing with all kinds of things, struggles and relationships or money or health or deepening our spiritual connection, that we're supporting each other, that we are talking about different topics on our calls. We hold anywhere from 2 to 3 calls a month. We go every other week, and we support each other. And if it's something that you're interested in, then please come over and check it out. Otherwise, please do these techniques and let me know how it's going and if you have any questions. If you liked this episode, please share this with 3 of your friends. And if you like this episode and look forward to future episodes, please consider making a small monthly donation to help support this podcast. If you're looking for a community to join and have more access to me, then consider joining one of my communities. Chakras for Beginners is an energy-based community that is highly active and growing every day. Lady Rising is a sistership community where the focus is on spiritual support and empowerment. We hold monthly calls and talk about topics just as like today's episode. We also have an online store where we can meet your meditation and chakra needs with products for your journey. You can visit us at www.themeditationroomtc.com. Thank you for joining me and being a valued listener.